Everyone knows about the mind-blowing movie Black Panther, and vibranium stone is unique for every Wakanda person. Moreover, this movie will show the iconic fight of the protagonist to save his country and sacred herb. It has also gotten a 7.8 rating on IMDb. The movie begins when a little boy is begging his father to explain the story of home. The father tells him that it started with the meteorite hitting Africa. It was composed of a different material, vibranium. Later, 5 tribes lived in the area. Thus, Wakanda was born. The tribes of the world fought until one man called Shaman was given guidance on the heart-shaped plant through an apparition by goddess. He consumed this herb and was the very first man to be Black Panther King. The herb gave him tremendous power. Today, Wakanda is more advanced than any other nation. It was hiding its progress and strength from the eyes of the world. 1992. In the next scene, the kid is playing on the streets, and Father N'Jabu has been planning a terrible game together with his friend James when someone knocks on the door. They believe it is King T'Chaka, the brother of N'Jabu and the king. He reveals the tragic information that someone named Ulysses Claw has stolen vibranium and killed many in a blast while he tried to escape. N'Jabu was commissioned as a spy for the US. They knew that N'Jabu had given him information and planned to access Wakanda. King tells his child brother N'Jabu will return to take responsibility for his crime. The next scene shows that the news anchor is delivering the news of the death of T'Chaka, the king, in a bomb attack by terrorists. The son of T'Challa will be the king. In addition, she claims that despite being an impoverished nation, they're unwilling to accept any help. The new king and his successor would like Nakia, her lover, to be at his coronation ceremony, who is caught by the army with militants within Nigeria as a spy. King T'Challa stops army prisoner vans from taking militants. He is wearing a bulletproof Black Panther's outfit and kills terrorists in one go. He saves Nakia and tells her his father is gone. They free all prisoners and return via UFO. He is greeted by his mother and sister, who welcome him on the big day. Okay. The museum's young man asks about the ancient artifacts in the following sequence. The attendant responds that the knife is owned by the British. The boy is furious and declares they took the axe from Wakanda and will now steal it. She falls to the floor because the drink contains poison in it. Then Ulysses is an assistant to a doctor and kills all brutally. He knows the Wakandians will learn about the robbery and come after them. They flee the scene in an ambulance. In the following sequence, the Wakanda people celebrate the ceremony to crown T'Challa on water, who is the first to arrive in a UFO. Zuri announces he's the new Black Panther and offers him the heart-shaped herb he drinks. He then asks each tribe whether they will accept the throne and if anyone wants to contest the king today. Every tribe is in agreement, except the Mountain tribe. Baku declares that he is going to be the one to challenge. Then Baku and T'Challa are fighting with spears. At first, Baku overcomes T'Challa and becomes weak and severely injured. Then, T'Challa retaliates against Baku to the point that he is close to throwing him into the stream of water. T'Challa snuffs him out in less than a minute. In defeat, Baku returns to his tribe. The entire tribe of Wakanda celebrates the victory with great joy. T'Challa is awarded the title of king and Black Panther on the day of success. The action begins when tribal members gather heart-shaped herbs and prepare a drink. Black Panther T'Challa drinks the heart-shaped medicine, and Zuri covers him with red sand. In the illusion, King meets his father. He hugs him and shows love to him. Then he states that he needs to prepare to assume the throne. His father responds that he'll be an excellent king as he is honest. He was educated and trained to become what he is today. He awakes from the illusion. The following day, T'Challa later asked Nakia to come to her home, but she declines, saying she cannot ignore the needy African fellows. She demands that he expand their welfare program and should not stop helping other people. A beep suddenly pops up, and we learn that Ulysses stole a vibranium axe from the museum. He plans to sell the axe to a US buyer in South Korea. In an interview with his cabinet ministers, the president vows to murder Ulysses on the spot. In the next scene, the king is visiting his sister inside the lab, where she displays that she has some sophisticated gifts that he can take with him during his trip to Busan. She shows beads and a communications device. This is only to strengthen the connection between him and her. She then gave him sound-absorbing shoes. Ultimately, she wants him to pick the perfect outfit for Black Panthers. He chooses a dress that has enough strength to stop any attack. The material is nanotech and can store kinetic energy. Sister is laughing loudly when T'Challa is thrown away after hitting the dress. In Busan, T'Challa is admitted to South Korea with Naja and Okoye. Nakia gets her entry via a woman who knows her. They then sit in a spot and wait for Ulysses to show up. Then T'Challa discovers that CIA agent Ross is also in the room with Ulysses. He informs Ross that he'll bring Ulysses into Wakanda. Then the Okoyes and Naja tell each other that Ulysses has weapons and that we cannot afford a shootout here. Ulysses has arranged for his people inside the casino to make the safest exit. Then Ulysses attempts to negotiate an arrangement with Agent Ross to exchange his escape. He also exposes him to the vibration axe he concealed in his private areas. Then, one of Ulysses' guards senses Okoye's suspicions. Okoye lashes out with a knife which turns into a massive spear and hurls the man to the ground. Then the shooting starts, and Ross defends himself from shots through the luggage. Then a Black Panther appears directly in front of Ulysses. Ulysses can attack him by using its vibranium arms. T'Challa escapes and asks her sister to get in a tech-savvy car, so they follow Ulysses. She drives while T'Challa is at the top of the hill in the Panther costume. They can fend off bullets, and Okoye throws her spear into the middle of the vehicle and breaks it into 2 pieces. Then Ulysses releases rays from his arm, which have an ebb and flow. The car is damaged. Both girls join Agent Ross inside Ross's car. After Ulysses breaks the Black Panther's vehicle, the Panther smashes the car of Ulysses, and then he emerges. Then Ulysses is trying to send vibranium radiations from his arms towards the Black Panther, which causes his arm to break. He is now left with only his half arm. The Black Panther cannot cause death as he watches people snapping their pictures. The feds take him into custody. In his office, T'Challa informs Ross that he'll be taking Ulysses as a witness after the investigation. Ross can ask Ulysses regarding the cannon for arms. Where did it originate? He states that Wakanda hides its incredible technological advancements and its weapons. The arm cannon was constructed out of the same vibranium. Ross is seen and asks T'Challa to prove that Wakanda has no vibranium left when there's plenty of it. In the meantime, Eric, who stole the axe from the museum with Ulysses, then blasts into the federal building and steals Ulysses away from there. A bullet struck Ross as he tried to save Naja. T'Challa inserts Kimoyo's beads and then takes the man into Wakanda lab. In the next scene, WCABI appears angry at King for not having Ulysses. And then, Eric kills Ulysses when Eric stops him from traveling to Wakanda. In the opposite direction, King can see the ring on Eric's wrist and is curious to know Zuri, who he is. Zuri states that his dad killed the brother of Njabu. He was sent to America to serve a mission and married there. He was determined to assist others in need, Africans, and your father wasn't happy about it. Eric himself is the son. In the next scene, Eric takes the deceased Ulysses to WCABI to gain their trust. 3. Then Agent Ross became conscious and was amazed by the marvelous things in the Wakabi labs. He questions how it was that he recovered so quickly. He was surprised by the highly advanced technology within the lab. T'Challa's sister says that everything is made of powerful vibrating. Then she sees an email on Kimoyo's advertisement that someone has taken the idea of Ulysses across the border. Ross states that Eric isn't from Wakanda, while T'Challa is sharing with Nakia what their father's actions were towards his younger brother. Nakia demands that he follow his royal path. Then, in the next scene, Ross mentions that Ross's cousin Eric was a soldier and killed many soldiers in Afghanistan. He was later referred to as the Killmonger. He joined a ghost group. In the next scene, Eric arrives before T'Challa and takes the crown. Every minister in T'Challa smiles as he claims Eric is aware of his identity and they know who Eric is. Eric is asking why he doesn't fight against the world. T'Challa says it's not their style and won't allow his people to enter an arms race with anyone. He then discloses his identity before revealing he's Njabu's son and shows his rings. T'Challa accepts the contest and then goes to the water of great importance. He requests Eric his last time to end his challenge but is not accepted by Eric. Initially, they fight intensely, but then T'Challa suffers injuries as Eric cuts his body with the knife. T'Challa falls, and Eric is poised to murder him. Zuri stops his sword and orders Eric to take him down instead, because it was he who caused his father to be killed. Eric takes out his uncle Zuri and throws T'Challa over the waterfall. Eric is the king of Wakanda. Nakia arrives at Okoye in tears and demands assistance to kill Eric. She declines, saying she will stay faithful to the throne for all her days. She took off for Wakanda with Ross and feared for her own life. She later joins T'Challa's sisters and mother in the jungle. The scene shifts as Eric is handed his heart-shaped herb to get to know his ancestors and gain tremendous power. He sees his father and doesn't cry. He goes through his father's diary, and his father reveals that they ought to be leaving the city earlier. This is how Eric could have found an apartment. Then Eric awakes from the dream. The scene changes when Nakia is told that Eric commands her to burn the herbs. Thus, no king will ever be able to see the truth. Nakia takes one herb while the rest burns. The next day, Eric calls everyone in the Wakanda government and asks the government to sell vibranium weapons to different nations. They will then become powerful. This is how they would end the power of those in charge. Then Nakia travels to the mountain tribe Jabarillan with their sister, mother, and Ross, who is taking the herbs with him. They request their king to assist them in escaping by removing an outsider as king and offering a herb shaped like a heart. The king leads the group to a camp, and they are astonished to find T'Challa alive in coma. They smash a heart-shaped herb and then make drinks for T'Challa to cure the man. In the aftermath of drinking, T'Challa sees his father. He says that this is the moment to join the heavens with him. However, he questions his father about what he did to take the boy home. He did not want to be with his father and stated that T'Challa would reclaim the throne to make things right. After that scene, T'Challa's sister informs him that Eric has his army's full support and that he is prepared to sell weapons. Ross describes how they were trained to destabilize nations in the CIA. Then T'Challa presents his brother with the Dark Panther necklace. Ross. T'Challa demands that the Mountain King is by his side in the fight, which is rejected by the Mountain King, who says they'd prefer to be alone in the mountains, just like before. In the next scene, Eric is extraordinarily content and tells WCABI they've spread their combat dogs. The United States of America, England, etc. in England, America and elsewhere, they've made plenty of weapons made of vibranium to kill other nations. The planes filled with weapons begin to leave the Wakanda weapons labs. The first plane is attacked by T'Challa, who appears as a Black Panther and transforms the aircraft into an ash cloud. The king challenges Eric to win the one-on-one battle since only the second one will become the real king. Eric refuses to accept the one-on-one combat, and the battle begins, army with WCABI, who decides to join with Eric and fights Black Panther. Okoye joins forces with the Black Panther in the red dress. WCABI cannot stop when T'Challa demands the men cease fighting. He even summons a large hippo to be taken away from the earth during the middle of a battle. In the meantime, T'Challa's sister offers Ross an airplane. Nakia is wearing a particular dress. Ross pilots the plane to stop weapons from flying away from Wakanda. In the fight, Okoye fights with Eric in a fierce battle. Ross shoots several planes down with ease. Okoye and T'Challa's daughter Shuri can attack Eric's with an intense vibranium. Eric's unique suit deflects any attack. Then T'Challa and Eric are thrown into the deep vibranium mine. Shuri starts the train system to complete the strength of Eric's protective suit. In the fight, the Mountain King is there to aid T'Challa. The power of their Panther costumes is restored when the train leaves. Ross's plane loses control as the labs come under attack. However, he fights hard to take down the last plane. This prevents the weapon from leaving the boundaries of Wakanda. In the battle, Okoye faces WCABI, with whom she is in love. WCABI demands that she kill him. She declares that she'll do whatever she wants for Wakanda. Then she draws her spear. She drops her weapon, and his companions surrender. Inside vibranium mines during the fight between them, Eric leaves his knife, and T'Challa grabs the knife and cuts his body using it. He speaks to T'Challa after realizing that he will die and says that he's always wanted to visit the magical place of Wakanda since childhood. T'Challa can take his body out of the pit where he is buried at the foot of a mountain, saying that death is better than bonding. The battle is over and the reign of T'Challa starts. In the next stage, he expresses his gratitude to Nakia for all she has done for himself and his family. He asks her to stay here for eternity. In the following scene, the two characters, T'Challa as well as Shuri, are seen standing in the place in which their father murdered their uncle. He explains that he purchased this and several other buildings and transformed them into the Scientific and Exchange Center. Shuri is the director of this center. She is grateful to him, and the spaceship from Wakanda is spotted on the floor, and the film is over.